The Khampepe Commission of Inquiry into allegations of racism at Stellenbosch University has recommended that the institution reviews its language policy as well as monitor the culture of one of its student residents, Huis Marais. The South African Union of Students spokesperson, Asive Dlanjwa, joins us now to weigh in on the report. Thank you very much for availing yourself this morning. You believe the report is a step in the right direction towards transforming the university?
Good evening, Sis Dudu, and also to your viewers. Most definitely, we believe that, in fact, I think firstly we welcome the report, and we believe that it is a step in the right direction towards addressing transformation issues at Stellenbosch University. We, however, unfortunately, are not necessarily optimistic to the extent to which that report will be implemented and to the extent to which the university is going to commit itself towards transforming that institution and making it humanizing for its black learners, rather black students and its black workers.
You speak of a concern where the implementation of the recommendations is concerned. The Democratic Alliance, for instance, finds fault with the report, stating that on page 28 of the report, the retired judge admits that despite providing several reminders inviting students and staff to participate in confidential interviews about alleged problems on campus, only 22 voluntarily submitted their concerns. This with the university having some 33,000 people on campus. AfriForum is also expressing dissatisfaction with the report, which maybe speaks to your point of being concerned about the implementation of it.
Yes, you see, they are really just trying to build a base and a reasoning for not to implement that report. Because, as Dudu, the experiences that are uncovered and that are narrated in that report, it could have been the experience of one student, it could have been the experience of one worker. It would be meant to be dealt with because it would mean that someone who rightfully belongs to be a member of the Stellenbosch University community does not feel that they belong in the institution, and it would therefore mean that the university must do something about that. So really, what the university is doing, it probably could even be colluding with these organizations that you have mentioned to create a basis for not to implement that report. Justice Khampepe is a respected legal practitioner in South Africa. She will not release a report that she believes that it is compromised and that it does not reflect the views and it does not reflect the state of issues at Stellenbosch University. But it goes on to show exactly what we are saying, that the university will not implement those recommendations. In fact, this is supported by Justice Khampepe when she suggests and she alludes to how unrepentant the university is and how uncommitted it is to transform the institution. Because she alludes to say that it does not make sense to her. It escapes her mind why the residence head, who was directly instrumental in cultivating a culture of racism, subjugation, and the oppression of black students, and the Huis Marais incident would be retained. It shows you, we said it after, in fact, that incident, that the university, if the university was serious about the transformation issues at Stellenbosch, the residents head and the leadership of the residents, under whose watch these things had happened, they should have been immediately removed. But they were kept in the space. And the report is clear that the resident head is instrumental in cultivating that culture. So it really does not baffle us. Obviously, it would not be in the interest of AfriForum and the DA that the university is open to the majority of black students and black workers. And for as long as it remains racist in nature, the black students and the black workers obviously will not be attracted to that institution.
Asive, you've also welcomed the recommendation calling for the revision of the language policy, which you believe is contributing to racism at the institution. How?
Absolutely, Ms. Dudu. You see, language is very critical to one's identity. What the report showed us was that black workers and black students felt excluded, and that they felt like they did not belong at Stellenbosch University. The reason is because they cannot identify with the space and they cannot identify with the institution. One of the primary bases that informs that lack of being able to identify is the issue of language. The current language policy at Stellenbosch University creates English as a mere token to include non-Afrikaner workers and students, which is incorrect. So there is no sense that people who don't speak Afrikaans belong in Stellenbosch University. This is why the signage will be in Afrikaans and English. It suggests that actually this is an Afrikaner institution, but so that you are able to get around, we will maybe allow you to be able, they merely translate an Afrikaner culture, but it does not represent them. In fact, in the Concord judgment between the University of the Free State and AfriForum, Chief Justice Mogoeng, when he delivered the court judgment, he argued that the use of Afrikaans has unintentionally become a facilitator of ethnic and cultural separation and racial tension. He continues to say that its continued use will leave the results of white supremacy not being redressed, and it will carry on to divide the institution. So the point that we are making is that that language policy has to be dealt with. For as long as that institution does not deal with that, the white students will believe that that is their space and that black students are intruders who belong to be peed on, or rather who deserve to be peed on.
So, Asive, what does that change look like? Are you suggesting scrapping Afrikaans, or are you suggesting including other languages as well?
No. What we suggest in the interim is that the university becomes a fully English medium institution, so that we are able to level the playing field. When you speak to students at Stellenbosch University, they will tell you that preference is given to Afrikaner students in Afrikaans classes. Even the manner in which they are taught is far more different than the English students are taught in the English accommodation class, because that's all it is really. So it must be a full English medium. While we develop other languages, if you are in Western Cape, obviously it would be important for us to develop isiXhosa and isiZulu to be academic languages, so that we appreciate, but to do that is not an overnight thing. So that we are able to facilitate cohesion now, and we are able to facilitate equality, let us have the institution being an English institution. Why must the institution be an Afrikaner institution in a country, in a public university, by the way, in a country where the majority of citizens in the country use English as a medium of communication that we appreciate to be universal?
Asive, we get the point. Just very quickly for us, Justice Khampepe also noted a pervasive drinking culture and alcohol abuse problem at the university that exacerbated the problems at the institution. As a student union, how concerned are you about this?
We will desist from relating and associating racial attacks to alcohol. That one, it is going to create a room for people to escape their responsibility and call things that are not as if they are. Alcohol, my sister, has absolutely nothing to do with the racist attack on black learners and black students and black workers. By the way, when you look at stats, they will tell you that we generally have an alcohol abuse problem across South Africa, across sectors, across communities. But we do not see what is happening at Stellenbosch. There is alcohol abuse at WITS, there is alcohol abuse at UJ, there is alcohol abuse at UMP. There are white and black students in those institutions, but we are not seeing what we are seeing in Stellenbosch. It has absolutely nothing to do with alcohol. We must disabuse ourselves of thinking that those attacks had anything to do with alcohol. In fact, the alcohol was able to give the white students the freedom to express themselves in a manner that the university has been able to cultivate that community, or rather that culture of where black people's lives do not matter in that institution. It has absolutely nothing to do with alcohol. We are concerned about alcohol abuse generally across the country and in our institution, but as it pertains to Stellenbosch, it has absolutely nothing to do with alcohol. We will not even relate the two issues.
Asive Dlanjwa speaks for the South African Union of Students. Thank you for your time.